Hello and welcome to episode number 66 of Supercalifragilistic. My name is Christian Rauchenwald and today we're going to talk about the right mindset to be successful. Before we get to that, as always, quick welcome to everybody who tunes in for the first time to this vlog/podcast. Depending on where you're watching or listening to this, make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button so you do not miss any future episodes. And also, if you're curious about the backstory to all of this, make sure to check out the episode number 1 of this whole series. It will give you a deep insight into why I'm doing this, what you can expect from the whole series, and what journey I'm personally on. Now let's talk about mindset. Mindset is something very important and people usually underestimate it very, very much because it literally is like the key to success. It literally is the most important thing you have in terms of becoming successful. If you do not have the right mindset, you will ultimately always fail. It's impossible to succeed without having the right mindset. That said, let me provide some examples. Or actually, let's talk about like some of the favorite quotes that I know and that I love. For example, Henry Ford said, "No matter if you say you can or you cannot do, you'll always be right." And that's exactly true. If you do something and you like basically started with I cannot do this, you will not put in all the effort that you should put in, and therefore you will eventually fail. Yeah. If you tell yourself I can do this or I don't know how to do this yet, then your mind works in a different pattern and tries to find a solution, tries to find an answer for you. And that's really, really an important difference. You never should underestimate the difference that your mindset makes. Yeah. For example, one of my mentees, he's like below 30 years old, so you would assume he's good with computers. Well, he isn't. He's like even challenged by, for example, finding a group in the Facebook app on his phone. And one of the issues we constantly run into, because like my job is not to do the work for him, but just to coach him into the right direction, is that he just tells himself, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. And therefore he doesn't even bother to Google for a solution, because like there's a solution for all of your problems out there, but most people, based on their mindset, simply don't bother to find it. When I talk with most people, they're like impressed by my IT skills that are accumulated over like close to 15 years. And yes, I know a lot in that area. I'm for sure not a guru in every field, but I know more than the average person. Yeah. And that impresses them. What they don't understand is that like 99% of that knowledge is simply like, I didn't tell myself I cannot do it. I do it. I told myself like, okay, I just need to find out how. And I Googled, and in terms of programming, I was a lot of on Stack Overflow, YouTube tutorials, blog posts. Well, and suddenly I found a way how to get it done. Yeah. Like even though it may have seemed like hard or impossible in the beginning, and maybe I spent like 5 times the hours that a professional would have spent on something, eventually I succeeded. I got it working. I learned something new, and the next time I had the same task to solve, I already knew how. Yeah. But the difference is the approach of like telling myself I cannot do this, or the approach, well, I'm gonna figure out how I can do this, because everything is possible nowadays. Really, like you can Google how to build a rock, or you can check on YouTube how to build a rocket, and you will find like hundreds of videos that show you how you can make like rockets yourself, like not huge big ones, but homemade ones. Yeah, like everything you want to do, there is a YouTube tutorial out there. But for some reason, people just don't bother to put in the effort. Yeah, like they give up, and that's the mindset issue. It's the like I cannot do this. It's like when people fail with their ideas, and then they are like, well, I always knew it probably wouldn't work. Yeah, well, if you start with that approach, well, it will not work because you're already doubting, you're already set up for failure. If you do something, do it because you believe it will work. If you don't believe it will work, don't bother at all. Yeah. And this way, like whatever you want to do, look at others. If others can succeed, yeah, I'm sure no matter how bad you are with IT, if you look, for example, in the ClickFunnels affiliates group, you will find people that are older than you, have less computer skills than you, their English is worse than yours, and they still manage to make like 3 or 4 digits every month in affiliate commission. Well, if they can, so can you. The difference is they didn't tell themselves, oh, my English is bad, I cannot do this. Oh, I actually cannot help with technical problems, I cannot do this. They just looked for a way. Maybe they created a blog, maybe they run a YouTube channel, maybe they are active in some Facebook groups, maybe I don't know what they call companies, maybe they go from door to door, from company to company. No matter what they do, they put in the effort because they know they can do it. Yeah. Maybe for you it's even easier because you have like better English skills, maybe you live in a better location, maybe you have so much advantage, but the only thing, the biggest disadvantage is your mindset telling yourself, no, you cannot do this, I cannot do this, I don't know, it's so hard. Don't ever do that. Like literally never tell yourself you cannot do something. Everything is possible. Like when Elon Musk started Tesla, all the major car manufacturers were laughing like, what does the guy want? We have like a century experience in building cars, and that guy with a couple million wants to compete. Well, now even the cars that the big companies currently develop, so they're not even finished yet, and are planned to release in a year or 2 years, the electric cars are already worse than Tesla's current models. So even when they're done with the development and finally go into production in 1 or 2 years, today's Tesla already beats them. Yeah. So like, because Elon Musk knew it's possible, he knew he can find a way, and he understands the principle of the who, not the how. If you don't know what to do or how to do something, you simply estimate how many hours it will take you to learn it and get it done yourself. You multiply it by your hourly rate, and then you check if somebody is willing to do it for less than that money. If yes, it's the smarter move to outsource it to that person. If no, well, then learn the skill yourself, do it yourself. Yeah. And that really applies to everything. Like, and it's like ridiculous. Like I really am, people laugh at me, like my official opinion, and now maybe some of you will unsubscribe after that, but my official opinion is that 85% of people on this planet are idiots. Yeah. And I don't mean like they're literally stupid, but I just mean like they want to reach something, but you're not willing to do anything for it. Yeah. And it's like, in my opinion, you could create a blueprint that really says like step 1, step 2, like open the browser, enter this domain, click on that button, that really is like every detail written down, what you need to do, or even with a video or something, that with a guarantee that if you follow the guide, you will make in 5 years, you will make, I don't know, like 5 digits per month or something. And 95 or 85 or 90% of people will not do it. If it were so easy, everybody would do it. Well, because people like you, like the guy who says if it were so easy, everybody would do it, don't do it. There's like the selected few who just do, yeah, and make the money, have the success. Yeah. It's like everybody says it's impossible until somebody showed up that didn't know that and just did it. Yeah. And that's the way it works. It's all like, really everything is in your head. Like, I'm gonna give you like a last short story about that. When I was in the army, like in Austria, back then when I grew up, we were still required to do at least 6 months of service. Yeah. And I was like skinnier than I am now, and I was smoking. I didn't do any sport, and so obviously I was not in shape. The daily running in the morning, like I got used to it after like 2 weeks or something. It was okay. And then one day we went for a march. So we left the barracks at like I think 8 a.m. in the morning or 8:30, and we returned to the barracks at like 11:30 in the evening, so p.m. Yeah. And on that march, I don't know how many kilometers it was. Yeah, I really like have no idea. There were like a couple of exercises, troop exercise and stuff like that on the way. And all of that with like full gear, meaning like around, if I remember right, 35 kilos on your back, and a gun with like, I don't know what it is, like 4 kilos, 3 kilos, no idea. But, and there were people with us that had more muscles than I. They were in better shape than I, but they gave up along the way. When my body already was like basically dead, and I switched to a kind of zombie mode where I didn't even know how I put my feet in front of one another, but I was dedicated to say, I'm not gonna give up. There were still some people who were like maybe a little fatter than I, or like, yeah, I was skinny, so they were maybe a little fatter, or maybe for some other reason I thought like that guy's actually has it harder than I have, and if he will succeed, if he will finish, I will too. So I didn't give up. I even along the way, like for some of the guys who had trouble, like carried like 2 additional guns with me. Yeah, not the whole way, but like partially, and then gave it to another guy. So we helped out. But the point is, it was all in my head. I could have given up like at noon already. and just like, no, I cannot anymore, and blah blah blah, like some of the guys did, and then they were driven back by truck, yeah. Or simply, I'm not gonna give up, I can do this, yeah. At the end I had blisters on my feet and I was like really like that, but I made it back, yeah. I made it back. The next day started at 6 a.m. in the morning again, yeah, or 5:45 or something like that, and I still survived. The point is, no matter what you do, it's all in your head. The moment you tell yourself, I cannot do this, you actually already failed. You can give up already. Yeah, like you need to be convinced that you will succeed. That's why, for example, in the One Funnel Away challenge of ClickFunnels, the whole pre-training week, a whole week, 5 days, are focusing solely on getting you the right mindset, because it's the crucial element. You can suck at everything else. You can be like not, I don't know, like challenged by turning on a computer and stuff like that. You can learn all of that, but if you do not have the right mindset, there's nothing that can help you. There's no course you can buy that will help you, unless it's a course that will help you develop the mindset. That said, we're gonna end it here. So the video got a little bit longer than expected. Yeah, what do you think, like how important is mindset? Do you agree that actually like 90% or even more of success, no matter if it's in business or with some challenge or something, actually depends on the mindset? Or do you disagree? Leave your comments down below. Make sure to visit my Facebook group, link usually either in the podcast description or in the first comment below the video, depending on where you are. Yeah, thanks for watching. Till tomorrow with episode number 67 of Super Califanilistic. Bye bye.